Imagine winning a breach of contract case but still losing the deal. Money damages often fail to deliver the promised value. Specific performance is a mandatory decree from a court of equity. It forces the breaching party to perform the contract exactly as promised. This remedy is discretionary, not an automatic right. It is only granted when legal remedies are insufficient. A valid, enforceable contract is the primary prerequisite. The contract terms must be clear and definite. Courts must be able to draft an effective enforcement order. The plaintiff must show performance or readiness to perform their own duties. Vague contract terms will result in denial of specific performance. Courts will not write the contract for the parties. This equitable remedy is considered only after damages are proven inadequate. Inadequacy of the legal remedy is the threshold requirement. Monetary damages are deemed inadequate if the subject matter is unique. Uniqueness makes substitution impossible or commercially unreasonable. Damages are also inadequate if they are highly speculative. This occurs when calculation is difficult with reasonable certainty. Long-term requirements contracts often involve uncertain future market conditions. If the plaintiff can easily purchase a substitute item, damages are adequate. The legal remedy of damages is the cost of cover. Specific performance will be denied if cover is easy. A breaching party's insolvency is relevant but not automatic proof. Insolvency does not automatically render damages inadequate. Exceptionally, insolvency matters if unique assets cannot be recovered through bankruptcy. Contracts for the sale of real property are almost always subject to specific performance. Every parcel of land is considered inherently unique. This applies regardless of the land's actual characteristics. The buyer is entitled to acquire the specific tract contracted for. Most jurisdictions allow the seller to also seek specific performance. The seller compels the buyer to pay the full purchase price. This is true even if the seller's legal remedy is only the price difference. For contracts involving goods, specific performance requires uniqueness. This is governed by the Uniform Commercial Code, or UCC. Unique goods include rare art or specialized custom-made machinery. Heirlooms unavailable from other sources also qualify as unique chattels. Courts consistently refuse specific performance for personal services contracts. This refusal applies regardless of the uniqueness of the services provided. Forcing an individual to perform labor violates the 13th Amendment. This amendment prohibits involuntary servitude. Courts are also reluctant due to required continuous judicial supervision. Supervision ensures the quality and compliance of the performance. Highly complex or long-term performance increases the administrative burden. The court will likely deny specific performance in such cases. However, courts may grant a negative injunction instead. This prohibits the breaching party from working for a competitor. This injunction requires the services to be unique. The contract must also contain a valid non-compete clause. Specific performance is subject to several equitable defenses. These defenses can bar relief even if all legal prerequisites are met. The defense of laches applies if the plaintiff delayed unreasonably. This delay must prejudice the defendant's ability to defend the claim. The doctrine of unclean hands bars relief for plaintiff misconduct. This misconduct must relate directly to the transaction being litigated. Examples include fraud or material misrepresentation. Undue hardship is a defense based on disproportionate burden. The burden on the defendant must grossly outweigh the plaintiff's benefit. Courts also examine whether the contract terms are unconscionable. Specific performance may be denied if the contract was induced by mistake. Grossly inadequate consideration can also lead to denial. This applies even if the contract is technically enforceable at law. UCC Section 2716 governs specific performance for goods contracts. Specific performance is decreed where goods are unique or in other proper circumstances. The UCC standard liberalizes the common law uniqueness requirement. It focuses on the buyer's inability to reasonably obtain substitute goods. This is essentially the inability to cover the loss. Output and requirements contracts often qualify under the UCC. These goods are frequently specialized or the market source is limited. Limited sources may cover extremely difficult. The court may include terms regarding payment or damages in the decree. The buyer also has a right to replevin for identified goods. Replevin applies if the buyer cannot effect cover after reasonable effort. It also applies if goods were shipped under reservation and security is satisfied. Historically, mutuality of remedy required availability to both parties. This strict rule has been largely abandoned in modern contract law. The modern view only requires securing the defendant's performance. Courts often use conditional decrees to ensure this security. They may require the plaintiff to deposit necessary funds. Specific performance is a powerful equitable tool. It is reserved for situations where monetary damages fail to compensate adequately. 3 critical hurdles must be cleared for this remedy. First, a valid contract with definite terms is required. Second, the legal remedy must be inadequate. Third, enforcement must be feasible for the court. If supervision is impossible, the remedy is denied. Equitable defenses also bar relief. The plaintiff must then pursue standard monetary damages.